going to lie, so Z is less than beta. So this is the ROC is going to lie for the sequence, which is the negative sided sequence. Okay. Now we'll go for the double sided sequence. We'll see. We'll check for the double sided sequence. So take the next one. It's a problem number 6. Take x of n is equal to. I'm going to consider the sum of these two sequences. I'll consider the sum of these two sequences. We'll consider, which is called as a double-sided sequence. That is, x of n is equal to alpha to the power of n into u of n minus beta to the power of n into u of minus n minus 1. Beta to the power of minus n into u of minus n minus 1. We'll consider the double-sided sequence. Done. Okay, now I'm going to consider Z transform of these two. So let us write the formula for the Z transform. X of Z is equal to summation x of n into Z to the power of minus n. X of n into Z to the power of minus n. Let us substitute for the x of n these terms. So it has become summation n is equal to minus infinity plus infinity alpha to the power of n into u of n. I'm going to split these terms here. So minus, we have summation n is equal to minus infinity to the plus infinity. So beta to the power of n. So make this as a beta. Okay, so beta to the power of n into u of minus n minus 1 into z to the power of minus n into z to the power of minus n. Okay, so here we know that u of n can take the value 1 from 0 is less than n is less than infinity, and 0 for n is less than 0. And similarly, we have u of minus n minus 1. So this is equal to 1 from minus infinity is less than n is less than the minus 1, and 0 for n is greater than 0. So what we can do is, in place of u of n and u of minus n, we can substitute this one by changing the limits of the summation in the first and the second summation, and we'll find out the answer. So x of z is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity. So in place of n, I change the limits to 0 to the infinity. It is alpha into z to the power of minus 1. I'll take n common here. Instead of writing in 2 steps, I'll do it in a single steps. Minus summation n is equal to, the lower limit will become minus infinity up to the minus 1. So beta z to the power of minus 1 all to the power of n. So I'll take n common here. Okay. Now in the second summation, I'm going to replace the n with the minus n because we don't have any formula. We don't have any formula related to this one. So I'll change the n to the minus n. I'll change here in the second summation. So again, take in second summation. Take in second summation, change n to minus n. In the second summation, change n to minus n. So this will become x of z is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity alpha into z inverse to the power of n minus, in the second summation it will become, so if I change n to minus n, it will become n is equal to 1 to infinity. So beta inverse, so when I change minus n here, it will become beta inverse into z whole to the power of n will get. Already we did this one, just I'm doing directly. Okay. Now what we can do, this is the sum of infinite terms formula. This is also sum of infinite terms formula. So we know, we have seen both the formulas. So for your reference, I am going to write those two formulas. I am going to rewrite here. So one is, we know that summation n is equal to 0 to infinity. So alpha to the power of n is nothing but 1 divided by 1 minus alpha, provided alpha should be less than 1. And the second one we have summation n is equal to 1 to infinity. So alpha to the power of n is equal to alpha divided by 1 minus alpha, provided alpha should be less than 1. Provided alpha should be less than 1. So these two formulas we have, already we have seen this one. So I'm going to rewrite, I'm going to apply this formula for both the terms. So x of z is equal to, so for the first one will become 1 divided by 1 minus alpha into z inverse, minus for the second one it will become 1 divided by 1 minus beta inverse into z, beta inverse into z. So into, it is, we need this one. So beta inverse into z, beta inverse into z. So right. So first formula, first summation. For the first summation, I applied this one. For the second summation, I applied this one. As per these two formulas, this formula we applied here. Now what we can do, let us find out the region of convergence first here. Later I'll go for the evaluation of this one. I'm going to find out the region of convergence first. Later I'll go for the evaluation of this one. So as per the first formula, this should be less than 1. So that is the ROC for the first summation. It is alpha into Z inverse should be less than 1. Or else we can take, so Z is greater than alpha. Already we have done this one. That's why I'm taking Z is greater than alpha should be there. And similarly for this one, so beta inverse into Z should be greater than 1. Sorry, it should be less than 1, not greater than 1. It should be less than 1. Since alpha, this is in place of alpha, should be less than 1. Or the Z should be less than beta. So Z should be less than beta. Already we have seen this one. So that's why I'm writing directly. Z should be less than beta. Z should be less than beta. So this is alpha is greater than Z is greater than alpha and Z is greater than beta. So if I'm going to take the, so since these two are there, we need to take the intersection of these two. When I take this one, so since Z should take the value less than beta and Z should take the value less than alpha, so we can rewrite this one as, we can combine this one and we can rewrite this one as, so alpha is less than Z, alpha is less than Z is less than beta we can take here. The magnitude of Z, so the ROC can be considered as alpha. So Z should be greater than alpha, so that Z is alpha is less than Z and Z should be less than beta. So I'm combining these two. So it will become alpha is less than Z is less than beta. We are going to consider here. How you got region of convergence? So right. Now what I'll do is, so these are a region of convergence we got here. Now let us find out let us evaluate this summation. Let us simplify this one here. Okay. So we'll simplify this one. So this one has become, already we have done this one. If I take the Z inverse as 1 by Z if I write here, so it will become X of Z is equal to, so Z divided by Z minus alpha will get Z minus alpha. And for this one, this minus into this one already we have seen, so it is equal to the, so Z divided by Z minus beta. Z divided by Z minus beta. So along with this minus, it will become Z divided by Z minus beta will get here. So here the region of convergence is, so alpha should be less than Z, should be less than beta. Alpha should be less than this, it should be less than beta. So this is a region of convergence. This is a region of convergence. Okay. Then now let us find out the poles and the zeros, location of poles and zeros for the individual one. Let us find out the poles, location of poles and zeros for both the terms. So here, for the first one, the location of zeros are nothing but, for the first one, it is Z is equal to 0. And even for the second one is also Z is equal to 0. And for the next one, so Z is equal to alpha, equate denominator to the 0. So for the getting the poles here. And similarly, this is at Z is equal to beta. Z is equal to alpha and Z is equal to beta. The location of poles and zeros are there. These are zeros and the location of poles here. Let us plot the region of convergence. So here, this is the real part of Z and this is the imaginary part of Z. Real part of Z and the imaginary part of Z. So here, the region of convergence is between alpha to beta, the region of convergence is there here. Let us mark as per this one, the alpha should have a lesser value and beta should have a greater value. Alpha and here beta is there. The ROC is going to lie between the alpha and beta. So I'm going to draw two concentric circles. I'm going to plot it here. One circle which is taking the value for greater than alpha, that is Z is taking the value greater than alpha, and other one Z is taking the value less than beta, it is taking here. So I'm drawing another circle, drawing circle. So this is the region of convergence. So this is the region of convergence. The two concentric circles will form the region of convergence for the double-sided sequence. Okay, so the location of poles I marked here, and this is the region of convergence, ROC. So this is, we can denote as ROC. Done. Any doubts in this one? Any doubts? So we have seen the three different types of sequence, and we have seen the region of convergence for these sequences. Any doubts? Done? Done? We'll go for the next problem. So take the next problem. So take is the problem number 7. X of n is equal to x of n is equal to, so it is 1 from 0 is less than or equal to n is less than or equal to 9, less than or equal to 9, and 0 for n is greater than 9, 0 greater than 9. So it is having the value 1 from 0 to the 9, elsewhere it will be equal to the 0. Okay, so fine. Now we'll write the Z transform formula. So the Z transform of x of n, so which is equal to the x of z. So this is the summation n is equal to minus infinity to the plus infinity, n is equal to minus infinity to the plus infinity, x of n into z to the power of minus n, x of n into z to the power of minus n. Okay, now we'll change the, because x of n is equal to 1 from 0 to 9, we'll change the limits of the summation accordingly. So summation n is equal to 0 to 9. Here we have x of n is equal to 1 into z to the power of minus n, 1 into z to the power of minus n. So this can be written as summation n is equal to 0 to 9 z inverse whole to the power of n. So here we have this is a sum of finite terms formula. So we have seen the formula, that is summation n is equal to 0 to n, a to the power of n is equal to 1 minus a to the power of n plus 1 divided by 1 minus a, provided a should not be equal to the 1. Provided a should not be equal to 1. So this is a sum of finite terms formula. So according, this is in terms of the a to the power of n is there, and the value of n is nothing but 9. So let us expand this one. So x of z is equal to, so 1 minus, in place of a we have z inverse. So z inverse to the power of n plus 1. So n is 9, 9 plus 1 will become 10. So divided by 1 minus z inverse. So provided z inverse should not be equal to 1. Z inverse should not be equal to 1. Means Z inverse should take the value less than 1, it should take here. Z inverse should take the value less than 1. So that is the region of convergence we'll get. So now this is the z to the power of minus 10. So x of z is equal to, so I'm going to rewrite this one. So 1 minus 1 divided by z to the power of minus 10 can be written as z to the power of 10 divided by 1 minus 1 by z. So let us take the LCM. So it is z to the power of 10 minus 1 whole thing divided by z to the power of 10. Okay. And this is z minus 1 divided by z. Z minus 1 divided by z. So z and z to the power of 10 we can cancel here some of the terms. So like x of z is become, x of z will become z to the power of 10 minus 1 divided by, so in the numerator z to the power of 10 and z will get cancelled. So only z to the power of 9 will left out here. So we can write that one as z to the power of 9 into z minus 1. Z to the power of 9 into z minus 1 we can write. So right. So here the region of convergence is, as we already seen, the Z inverse should not be equal to 1, or Z inverse should be less than 1, or Z should be greater than 1 here. So the ROC is, so Z should be greater than 1, so that we have the positive value will be there. So that is Z should be greater than 1, that is the region of convergence. Z should be greater than 1, that is the region of convergence. Let us find out the location of poles and zeros. The zeros are located at, the poles are located at Z is equal to 1 and Z is equal to 0. This is if I'm going to equate Z minus 1 is equal to 0 means it will become 1, and Z is equal to 0 means it will become, at Z is equal to 0 we have the poles here, and the location of zeros are nothing but, so Z is equal to 1, we have the location of zeros is there here, location of zeros. Okay, location of zeros are there at Z is equal to 1. Now I'm going to plot the region of convergence. So the region of convergence is going to lie outside the Z is equal to 1. So at Z is equal to 1, we have the unit circle where one pole is there, and there are 10 zeros are there here. Z to the power of 10 is nothing but 10 zeros are there. So 1 0 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Somewhere you can add 10 zeros are there here. So this is the unit circle, and the region of convergence lies outside the unit circle. So this is the real part of Z, and this is the imaginary part of Z. Done. So this is the region of convergence is going to lie. Done. Any doubts in this one? Any doubts? Any doubts in this one? Any doubts? Understood? Can you get the reply? Any doubts? Any doubts in this one? My voice is audible, right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Any doubts? My voice is audible, right? So let us take the next problem. So we'll take the Z and some problems we'll take here, some functions. Let us take 8th one. Take x of n is equal to delta of n. So x of n is equal to delta of n. We'll consider the Z transform here. So that x of z is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to the plus infinity x of n into z to the power of minus n. X of n into z to the power of minus n. In place of x of n, let us substitute delta of n, summation delta of n into z to the power of minus n, delta of n into z to the power of minus n. So we know that the delta of n is equal to, it is 1 at n is equal to 0, and 0 for n is not equal to 0. So we'll substitute here. So it will become, the x of z will become equal to the 1 we'll get here. X of z is equal to 1. So the ROC for this one is, so it's the entire z plane. Okay, because there is no z term at all. The ROC is the entire Z plane here. So this is the real part and this is the imaginary part. So this is the ROC. So it's an entire Z plane. Entire Z plane is the ROC for the delta of n. So we can say the delta of n, the Z transform is equal to the 1 we'll get here. 1. Done. So we'll take the next problem. So we'll take the problem number 9. X of n is equal to, I'll take the shifted version of that one, delta of n minus m, delta of n minus m. So it has become x of z is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity plus infinity. I'm writing the generalized formula into z to the power of minus n. In place of x of n, we can substitute delta of n minus m minus infinity plus infinity, delta of n minus m into z to the power of minus n. So we know delta of n minus m is equal to 1 at n is equal to m, and 0 for n is not equal to m. Okay, so we'll write x of z is equal to, so it is 1 into at z to the power of minus n for n is equal to m. So we can write this as a z to the power of minus m, we can write here z to the power of minus m. This is the z transform of delta of n minus m. Done. So we'll take the z transform of the unit step function x of n is equal to u of n. Let us consider z transform of the unit step function. So this is similar to alpha to the power of n into u of n, where the value of alpha is equal to 1 here. So let us write the formula for the z transform. Minus infinity plus infinity, x of n is nothing but u of n into z to the power of minus n. So we know that u of n is equal to 1 from 0 is less than n is less than infinity, and 0 for n is less than 0. Okay, so we'll write x of z is equal to, we'll change the limit here, n is equal to 0 to infinity, z to the power of minus n, z to the power of minus n. So we know the sum of infinite terms formula, that is summation n is equal to 0 to infinity, a to the power of n is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus a. So provided a should be less than 1, provided a should be less than 1, so it will become x of z is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus z inverse. So provided the z inverse should be less than 1, or 1 by z should be less than 1, or z should be greater than 1. So this is the ROC. This is ROC. So just I am going to rewrite here. The x of z will become, x of z will become, so when I take the LCM, it will become z minus 1. The region of convergence is z is greater than 1. Z is greater than 1 is the region of convergence. So and the location of poles is nothing but at z is equal to 1 and z zeros at z is equal to 0. So we have this one. So this is 0 and this is pole. The ROC is going to lie. This is at 1 is equal to, we have. Okay, so this is the real part and this is the imaginary part. At it is greater than 1, we have the ROC. So I'm going to draw one circle. So this ROC is going to lie outside the unit circle. Outside the unit circle, the ROC is going to lie. So this is the z transform of the x of n is equal to u of n. So now we'll take the next problem. So problem number 11. So x of n is equal to, so we'll take the ramp function, we'll take here ramp function. So that is nothing but n into u of n, we'll consider n into u of n. So let us write that one. Let us substitute the formula. So summation n is equal to minus infinity plus infinity, n into u of n into z to the power of minus n. So we know u of n is equal to 1. Okay, and 0 for n is less than 0. N is less than 0. So here we'll change the limits of the summation accordingly. So x of z will become summation n is equal to 0 to infinity. In place of n is nothing but 1 into z inverse whole to the power of n. Z inverse whole to the power of n. So we know the formula for the n into alpha to the power of n. Okay, so we know that n into alpha to the power of n, that is the summation n is equal to 0 to infinity n into alpha to the power of n is nothing but alpha divided by 1 minus alpha square So in place of alpha, we have Z inverse, and we'll do substitute here. So it will become x of z is equal to, so alpha is nothing but Z inverse divided by 1 minus Z inverse the whole square, provided alpha should be less than 1. So Z inverse should be less than 1 or Z should be greater than 1. That is a ROC. Z should be greater than 1 is a ROC. Z should be greater than 1 is a ROC we'll get here. Okay, now let us take the LCM for this one. So this is 1 by Z, and this will become Z inverse will become. So when you take this one, when I take the Z inverse outside the square, it will become Z to the power of minus 2 will get here. So I can write the Z transform can be written as, it is Z divided by Z minus 1 the whole square. Z divided by Z minus 1 the whole square will get with ROC. ROC, it is greater than 1 is ROC. So then the location of poles is at Z is equal to 1. The pole is present here. So we'll plot the ROC for this one. So this is the real part of this, and this is the imaginary part of Z here. So at Z is equal to 1, the pole is there. So the ROC is going to lie outside this circle. So this is the region of convergence. Then this is the Z transform of. Okay. Now I'm going to consider the exponential function we'll consider here. This exponential function will help in finding the Z transform of the sinusoidal functions. So we'll go for the next problem. Okay. So we'll go for the next problem. So this is the problem number 12. So take x of n is equal to the exponential function will take. So e to the power of minus j omega n into u of n. E to the power of minus j omega n into u of n. We'll consider the transform of this one. So here we'll substitute in the formula summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity e to the power of minus j omega n into u of n into z to the power of minus n. So as usual, we are going to find out the value of u of n. So u of n is nothing but, so we know that u of n is nothing but 1. From 0 is less than n is less than infinity. Okay. Yes. Any doubts? Okay. So the u of n is equal to, it is having the value 1 from 0 to the infinity, and 0 for n is less than 0. Project. Okay. Right. Now we'll change the limits of the summation accordingly. So 0 to infinity I'll make here, and the value of u of n is nothing but 1. We'll substitute and we'll find the answer. So let us see that one. X of z is equal to, the limit will change, summation n is equal to 0 to the infinity. So here n is common here. So I'll take n outside. So e to the power of minus j omega, e to the power minus j omega into z inverse. So whole to the power of n. Z inverse whole to the power of n will take here. We'll take that as a common. So we can apply the sum of infinite terms formula we can apply. So already we know this one. I'm going to read it again. Summation n is equal to 0 to infinity. So let us write this formula in each and every time here, provided a should be less than 1. So here we'll find out we'll apply this formula. So x of z will become, so 1 divided by 1 minus e to the power of minus j omega into z inverse. The ROC is, this quantity should be less than 1. That is e to the power of minus j omega into z inverse should be less than 1. Z inverse, if you go that side, means e to the power of minus j omega should be less than z, or z should be greater than, we can write as z should be greater than e to the power of minus j omega. So this is the region of convergence. Okay, so if I consider the magnitude, when I consider the magnitude of this one, the magnitude of e to the power of minus j omega is nothing but, it is 1 here. So here the z should be greater than 1 is the region of convergence, if we consider the magnitude. Okay. Done, right? Now I'm going to simplify this one. So here Z inverse is there. So Z inverse is nothing but 1 by Z here. When we take the LCM, so it has become x of Z is equal to Z divided by Z minus e to the power of minus j omega. So this is the Z transform provided Z should be greater than 1. This is the region of convergence. The region of convergence. So if you want to plot, you can plot it here. So this is the real part of Z, and this is the imaginary part of Z. So this is at Z is equal to 1. The location of pole is there. So outside this unit circle, the region of convergence is present. Done. Now we'll take the next one. So similarly, we can write for the e to the power of plus j omega, and also we can write here. So similarly, we can write x of n is equal to e to the plus j omega n into u of n. So if we take the z transform for this one, so it has become, so instead of minus j omega, it will become plus j omega. So z minus e to the power of j omega will get. So this is the z transform of e to the power plus j omega n into u of n. So here also the ROC is going to lie the same thing here. The ROC is z is greater than 1. The ROC is going to lie for z is greater than 1. This will be the ROC. So right. Any doubts? So based on this one, we'll go for finding the z transform of the sinusoidal function. We'll go for finding the z transform of the sinusoidal function. So take the next problem. X of n is equal to sine omega n into u of n. Sine omega n into u of n. So we'll consider z transform of this one. So take this one. Okay, we'll consider the transform of this one, sine omega n. So we can rewrite this one as e to the power of j omega n into u of n minus e to the power of minus j omega n into u of n divided by 2j. Divided by 2j we can write. So we'll consider these two z transforms. So we'll substitute here and we'll evaluate. So we'll consider z transform x of z is equal to. So I'm going to split the summation accordingly. So minus infinity plus infinity. So 1 by 2j is common. So e to the power of j omega n into u of n into z to the power of minus n minus. I'll take the other summation. E to the power of minus j omega n into, so u of n into e to the power of, so sorry, z to the power of minus n. So this whole thing multiplied by 1 by 2j. This whole thing multiplied by 1 by 2j. Okay. So now the z transform of this one we know, and the z transform of this one we know here. I'm going to substitute the same thing here. Okay. So the x of z will become, as per this one, if you want, you can write separately. So you can write like this: u of n is equal to 1 from 0 is less than n is less than infinity, and 0 for n is less than 0. Okay, so this will write here. Afterwards, we'll directly evaluate this one. Summation n is equal to 0 to infinity e to the power of j omega into z inverse, so whole to the power of n, minus summation n is equal to 0 to infinity e to the power of minus j omega into z inverse, whole to the power of n. So the z transform of this one, if you evaluate this one, so it will become equal to, so z divided by z minus e to the power of j omega, minus this one is z divided by z minus e to the power of minus j omega. The ROC for this one is z is greater than 1. Z is greater than 1. We'll simplify this one. We'll simplify, we'll take the LCM of these terms here. So when you take the LCM, so this has become, so z minus e to the power of j omega and z minus e to the power of minus j omega. So cross multiply, it has become z square minus z into e to the power of minus j omega minus z square minus, okay, minus into minus will become plus into z e to the power of j omega. So z square, z minus will get cancelled. Okay, these two terms will get cancelled here. Now the remaining quantities z e to the power of minus j omega, z e to the power of plus j omega. We can take z common in the numerator. So z is equal to e to the power of j omega minus e to the power of minus j omega divided by, so take the product of this one in the denominator, it is z square. So this whole thing divided by 1 by 2j z. So I skip it here, so I can make 1 by 2j. So 1 by 2j. So take the product z square minus z e to the power of minus j omega. Okay, minus z into e to the power of j omega. Minus into minus will become plus into e to the power of j omega into e to the power of minus j omega. So plus j omega minus j omega will get cancelled. This is equal to 0. Sorry, this will become equal to 1 will get here. This is equal to 1 will get. Okay, so this whole thing divided by 2j. Whole thing divided by 2j z. So here z square. If you take minus z common here, so I'll take that one. X of z is equal to z into e to the power of j omega minus e to the power of minus j omega. So divided by z square. So here 2jz minus, if I take minus z common, it is e to the power of j omega minus plus e to the power of minus j omega plus 1 plus 1. So e to the power of j omega minus e to the power of minus j omega divided by 2j will become equal to the sine function we'll get here. And this will become equal to the e to the power of j omega plus e to the power of minus j omega. So this will become equal to the 2 cos omega will get. So we'll write accordingly. So x of z is equal to, so this is sine function here. So z into sine omega. So whole thing divided by z square minus 2z into cos omega plus 1. So this is the z transform of the function, which is called sine omega n. And this is the region of convergence is z is greater than 1. Z is greater than 1 is the region of convergence. Okay. So any doubts? So similarly, we'll find out the z transform of the cos function. We'll find out here. The z transform of the cos function. Let us find out similarly. Okay. I'll take the z transform of the cos function similar way. So this is the problem number 13. So we'll go for the problem number 13. We'll consider the transform of the cos function. Take problem number 14. X of n is equal to cos omega n into u of n. We'll consider the transform of the cos function. We'll consider. Okay. So I'll expand the problem so you can do that as a homework. Do this as a homework. You can do it here. The cos function, cos omega n into u of n. I'll give the final answer. So x of z is equal to, so we can rewrite this one as e to the power of j omega n minus plus e to the power of minus j omega n. So whole thing multiplied by u of n, so divided by 2. Okay. So we'll write the formula. X of z is equal to summation n is equal to minus e to the plus infinity. So it is e to the power of j omega n into u of n into z to the power of minus n plus summation n is equal to minus infinity plus infinity. So e to the power of minus j omega n into u of n into z to the power of minus n. So this entire thing multiplied by 1 by 2. So we'll take we'll substitute u of n. So u of n is equal to 1 from 0 to the infinity and 0 for n is less than 0. So we'll substitute x of z is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to infinity e to the power of j omega into z inverse. So whole to the power of n plus 0 to infinity e to the power of minus j omega into z inverse. So whole to the power of n. Okay, now let us evaluate the z transform for this one. So if you evaluate, it will become, so 1 divided by 1 minus e to the power of j omega into z inverse plus this one is 1 divided by 1 minus e to the power of minus j omega into z inverse. So when you take the LCM, the ROC is, so ROC is, this is greater than 1. So ROC is z should be greater than 1. That is common here. So x of z is equal to, so when you take the LCM,